Hello YouTubers! I got a project that's going to take a lot of space right here. So I had to move a bunch of stuff around, which I think is a horrible sin to have to move stuff in the shop to make room to do anything. My shop is way too small. I've outgrown it, put it that way. Let me get what I'm going to work on in here and we'll get started. Now that was a wrestling match that I almost lost. It was tough. Let me go get the other part. I forgot to bring that in. I've built 2 of these leg vise stands for other people, and here I sit with my original top, setting my tongs and my hammers and stuff on here, falling on the floor. I thought it was time to put my custom deluxe top on it, so I have a place to put my tongs and my hammers and punches and chisels. It might be a good idea to just weld a little box on there to set stuff in. I don't know. Let's get the old vise off of there and cut that top off and weld me a new top on it. I gotta drill the holes in this one for the bolts. Okay, I'm going to take those bolts out and then I'll show you cutting the top off. You don't need to see me turning a wrench. Okay, I got the vise off of there. It's laying over here on the floor. Haven't looked at the bottom yet. I made this a long time ago. There's a pretty darn good chance I went hog wild welding that thing on there. I hope not. But knowing me, it's probably welded to Kingdom Come. See if I can get it flipped up. Oh. See the wrestling match? Oh, come on! Oh. Try it again. Come on. Oh yeah. Holy cow, that's going to be tough. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, there's the top, and you can see that I welded along there, but I also did a super fine job of welding all the way around or across in there. So that is going to be hard to get in there and cut. Don't know if I can do it. I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, I've ground about everything I can get the grinder to. Now we're going to try something else. I seriously doubt if it'll work, but we're going to try it. Take my gloves off. It's going to get noisy. Looks like it might be moving. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to get out the cutting torch. A little story for your entertainment. This is my Manley sledge, my Manley 12-pound sledge. I worked at Menards part-time for a couple years, and I had a guy come in and ask me where the sledgehammers were at. So I took him over to the sledgehammers and I picked up an 8-pounder. I said, you could buy this girly 8-pounder or you can buy this Manley 12. He took the 12, but I don't think he was man enough to use it. He was a little dude. I saw him walking around the store with it, so I thought that was kind of a funny story. I used to have fun working there. The Manly 12. There she lays. Somehow or another I broke that weld. Probably woke up the neighbors too. Well, after that, I think it's time for a coffee break. I used to drink my coffee black, but one time I made the mistake of putting this French vanilla creamer in it. Man, I really like that stuff, so I drink girly coffee now. Oh boy. This is my second project of the morning. And getting that in there was a project of its own. And it's now about 8:15. And I went to Lulu's for breakfast. Didn't have it here this morning. I've been eating breakfast out here almost every morning before work. I'm enjoying my kitchen. And I suppose my wife is too, because I'm not waking her up banging pans around in our kitchen. About time to get back after it. Got to drill holes in that top plate, bolt the vise to it, position it on the base there where I want it so everything's level and straight up and down. And there's another issue I've had with that thing that I think I've figured out what the problem is and how to fix it. As you can see, originally I had the vise mounted pretty much center, which put that big base plate for the vise right in the center of this and didn't give you much flat space on top to set stuff. I think on this one I'm going to bring it out so it's out farther on the plate, which will give me a lot more flat spot on top, plus all my spots to hang tongs and hammers. So I'm going to drill my holes out here farther. So let me mark them and I'll calculate where I want them so they're not too close to an edge, but give me more room. Okay, you see we got the first hole drilled. I'm going to slide this on there. See if I can find it. And just do a little bit of rough eyeballing to get these sides even here. And then I'm going to use this pencil. I really like this pencil. It's got like a silver soft marking lead of some kind, and you can really see it. I had already marked it once and I moved it over, so I'm just kind of putting an X through the new one so I know approximately which one it is. So there you can see my marks. Now I'm going to drill a pilot hole in each one of those and then drill it 1/2 inch. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got my little Uncle Buck Forge touch mark on that. That 1/2 inch drill bit just gives me a minute amount of play for adjustment, so I do have to be really close with my drilling, but not dead to the thousandths accurate. So we're going to eyeball. I think I need to raise that up. eyeball the center here. This is a 1/2 inch thick steel plate. I don't know if I mentioned that. I've never bolted my drill press to the floor. I think one of these days I'm going to have to do that, but I'm never sure exactly where I want to put something and leave it. And as a note for Les at Papa's place, this is an Eagle oiler. They work great. I found mine at a consignment shop, antique shop. I think you can get them off of eBay sometimes. I love it. I have 2 of them and I'd buy some more if I find them. This is something I don't know if I should record, but it could be video evidence of the disaster, impending disaster. I'm going to try to stand this thing back up. Came up that way easy. Now to set it down without flinging myself through the garage door. There we go. Phew. Evidently my weld from years ago didn't penetrate like it should have. But I got the hole on this side for the foot. I'm going to bolt the top to the vise and set it on here and get it squared up right. And then we'll see where we go from there. I'll be right back. Something I got to remember to do is clean out this tip so the gas can flow. If you don't pay attention to that, you'll start getting really a lot of porosity in your weld, and it's because the gas can't flow. Let me get this centered up about how I want it and tack it. That looks good to me. We'll tack it over on this corner and then weld her solid. It's going to be nice having something like this. I mean, the whole concept of this thing was something I came up with. I don't know if someone else had already made something like this. But then to come up with the top to hold your tongs and your hammers and stuff, I finally have one of my own. That ought to hold it. Now I'm going to bring you in real close and show you something. Okay, here's the issue I have. I just clamped something in there so I get the handle in the right position. Watch this area and watch the vise when I twist on this. You see that movement? The whole idea of a leg vise is to have something solid. That's why the leg's on there. That's why it's a vise. And I have seen people, this is minimal movement to what I have seen on some people's videos on YouTube. Now that's not anything loose. What it is this I-beam down here. This I-beam is twisting when I twist on that, and I don't like it. I want this thing solid as a rock. So what I'm going to do to try to fix it, get the measurements here over to here and the width of this, and I'm going to make a little piece of plate to go in here and on each side of that and wedge it in there pretty tight and weld it onto here. And I think that should keep this thing from twisting and letting everything up here move. I have to get the measurements, and I'll have to burn out a piece of plate. I'll probably use something about 3/8 thick. I think that'll be sufficient. So that won't be on this video, but that's what I'm going to do. Now, oh yeah. Thanks for watching.